Get ready for an explosive analysis that will leave you excited, because you're going to discover which Seattle Seahawks running back just had a perfect audition in the NFC Championship and might be exactly what we need to revolutionize our offense in 2026. But that's not all. We will dive into the confirmed hiring of Durante Jones as our new defensive coordinator, revealing why this choice could completely transform our defense and lead us back to the playoffs. And there's more. You will understand the crucial decision about Darren Payne and why keeping him could be essential for our defensive line, despite the doubts about his performance. The Washington Commanders had a disappointing performance in 2025 and have already started the recovery process, hiring a new offensive coordinator, David Blau, and a new defensive coordinator, Durante Jones, former aerial game coordinator and defensive backs coach of the Minnesota Vikings. As a fan who suffered with every loss this season, I'm eager to see these changes in action. The rest of the coaching staff still needs to be defined, but the Commanders can now focus their efforts on assembling the roster, now that the two main positions are filled. One area that will need attention this offseason in Washington is the running backs. This is a glaring need, and a potential target is showing that he has what it takes to step up and make an immediate impact after his complete performance in the NFC Championship game. Kenneth Walker III of the Seattle Seahawks. Walker's big audition on the stage was impressive and caught everyone's attention. And the Seahawks running back is in the final year of his contract, and with teammate Zach Charbonnet out due to a torn ACL, this was an opportunity to showcase how versatile he is, wrote Judy Batista of NFL.com. Walker did not disappoint, scoring the Seahawks' first touchdown and making a tough 6-yard run down the sideline to bring the game to the 2-minute warning. Overall, he had 19 carries for 62 yards and 4 receptions for 49 yards, Batista continued. Walker, a former second-round pick of the Seattle Seahawks, piled up over 100 combined yards in the absence of Zach Charbonnet against the Los Angeles Rams. His performance demonstrates that he can be a starting running back in this league and a valuable free agent when the free agency market opens. The player is about to enter free agency as an unrestricted free agent, and the expectation is that he will command a significant financial return in the millions of dollars for his services. As a fan, I believe it's worth investing in Walker to provide adequate support for Jaden Daniels. Why Washington's defense is desperate for a running back is an important question. While he may be a more expensive player, considering his age and the performance this season, the Commanders will have few options at the running back position. Veteran Austin Eckler is recovering from an Achilles tendon rupture and will be a free agent. Jeremy McNichols will also become a free agent after the end of his 1-year contract, and Chris Rodriguez Jr. is a restricted free agent. This leaves only Jackery Krosky-Merritt, a 7th-round draft pick and in his 2nd year in the league. Walker would be the perfect choice, given his true potential as a running back, while Krosky-Merritt continues to adapt to the league as an above-average complementary running back. A perfect combination for the new offense is what we need. In Blau's new offensive scheme, he will likely value a featured running back capable of handling a large volume of plays and with the potential for explosive plays, balancing the run and pass options to support Jaden Daniels. Walker's explosiveness, receiving potential, and youth offer a dynamic element that would fit well with the Commanders' need for a true primary running back. And now, get ready to dive into the confirmed hiring that will change our defense. You'll discover all about Durante Jones, our new defensive coordinator, and why this choice might be exactly what we need to transform the league's worst defense into a competitive unit. According to various league sources, the Washington Commanders are close to finalizing a deal to hire Durante Jones, an assistant coach for the Minnesota Vikings, as their next defensive coordinator. As a fan, this news fills me with hope for the future. The hiring brings a promising talent in the defensive area to replace Joe Witt Jr., who was let go earlier this month after 2 seasons. Jones, 47, recently completed his 3rd season in Minnesota as the passing game defensive coordinator and defensive backs coach under Brian Flores. The Vikings ranked among the top in the league in total defense in 2025 and featured in the top 10 in turnover several times during Jones's tenure. His work has elevated his profile across the league. This resulted in 5 interviews for defensive coordinator just in this hiring cycle, demonstrating how valued he is. A coach who worked with Jones described his rise as just a matter of time, and evaluators shared equally strong opinions during the process. Before Minnesota, Jones spent time in Cincinnati and Miami coaching defensive backs and cornerbacks. He briefly left the NFL in 2021 to coordinate LSU's defense, where he was responsible for calls and gained valuable experience. Prior to his stints in professional football, he spent over a decade coaching at the college level after starting his career in the Washington, D.C. area. A Maryland native and former Morgan State defensive back, Jones is now returning close to home. Why Washington made this decision is an important question to analyze. Head coach Dan Quinn prioritized experience in the search for a defensive coordinator and spoke with several well-known names, including Jonathan Gannon, Terrell Austin, Brian Flores, Dennard Wilson, Joe Cullen, and Patrick Graham. Despite this emphasis on experience, Jones' command of the secondary made him an attractive candidate. His familiarity with modern coverage schemes and successful work under Flores made him an appealing option for a defense that needs a complete structural overhaul. Washington plummeted from the NFC Championship game in 2024 to a 5-12 campaign in 2025, yielding the most yards in the league and finishing 27th in points allowed. Quinn took on the responsibility of calling plays midway through the season and stabilized some areas, but the collapse highlighted deeper issues in talent, communication, and execution of coverage. Jones's experience in the secondary aligns with Washington's need to modernize its coverage packages and develop young position players, which is crucial for our success. What comes next for Washington is exciting to imagine. Jones joins new offensive coordinator David Blau, marking the first time in the Dan Quinn era that Washington starts a season with first-time coordinators on both sides of the ball. The Commanders plan to prioritize young defensive talents through free agency and the draft, where they hold the 7th pick. It is still unknown whether Quinn will maintain the responsibilities of calling defensive plays or hand them over to Jones, but Jones already has prior experience in this role acquired during his season at LSU. For Washington, the hire represents both a restructuring and a gamble. A young coordinator with strong experience in defensive schemes, tasked with revitalizing a defense that has crumbled. And now, to wrap up, let's understand the crucial decision regarding Darren Payne. You'll discover why keeping him could be essential for our defensive line in 2026, despite all the doubts about his recent performance and high salary. The Commanders' defensive tackle, Darren Payne, is entering the final year of his 4-year, $90 million contract in 2026, after recording the lowest defensive snap participation of his career last season, with 61%. As a fan, the situation worries me, but I understand the complexity of the decision. According to Ben Standig, negotiations between the two parties are focused on Payne fulfilling the last year of his contract. Standig states that the current expectation is for Payne to return for his 9th season, although the deal is not yet completely finalized. We mentioned Payne as a potential cut to watch on our list of possible salary cap cuts for 2026. Washington would save $16.75 million by releasing him, which is a considerable amount that could be used in other areas. However, it doesn't seem like the Commanders are leaning in that direction at this moment. Payne, 28, was the 13th overall pick in the 2018 NFL Draft, coming from the University of Alabama. He signed a 4-year rookie contract with the Washington football team worth $14,418 million, which included an $8,566 million signing bonus. Washington exercised the 5th-year option for the 2022 season, worth $8.53 million, which showed confidence in his potential. He re-upped his contract for 4 years, worth $90 million until 2026, and received a base salary of $16.4 million last year. In 2025, Payne participated in 15 games for the Commanders and registered a total of 46 tackles. He also had 7 tackles for loss, 3 sacks, 1 forced fumble, and 5 passes defended, modest numbers for someone with his salary. As a fan, I hope Payne returns to his best form in 2026 and justifies his high salary. The decision to keep him shows that management still believes in his potential and wants to give him another chance. So, fan, after hearing about Kenneth Walker III as a possible target to revolutionize our offense, discovering that Daronte Jones is our new defensive coordinator coming from the Vikings, and understanding that Darren Payne is expected to remain for 2026 despite the doubts, which of these moves gives you the most hope? Do you think it's worth heavily investing in Walker to support Jaden Daniels? Or should we use that money to bolster other, more needy positions? And more importantly, do you trust that Daronte Jones, even without experience as a defensive coordinator in the NFL, will be able to transform our defense with the help of Payne and new reinforcements? Or should we have looked for someone with more experience? Leave your opinion in the comments. I want to know what you think about the future of the Washington Commanders.